how do I remove myself from an ancestral covenant that is no longer serving its positive purpose in my life? And secondly, let me ask, must you remain in a covenant? Some of you want to just remain in that covenant. And let me go and appease my ancestors so that I can be blessed. What if there is an alternative? And there is always an alternative. How do you remove yourself from ancestral covenants that are no longer serving its purpose? Let me say this to you. Every single one of you watching me, you are under a covenant. You may agree, you may not agree to it. That's the truth. The denier of the inevitable facts that come from your connection with an ancestral spirit and how it translates to every dealing and covenant entered by that ancestral spirit years before you were born could be translated to being foolish. Meaning, denying the fact that every iota of your existence is independent of your ancestors will only leave you in abject loneliness, sadness, and misery. And so, your first point of action as a young man and as a young woman is recognizing the fact that your existence can't come to be except there was someone who was involved in sexual intercourse, your mother, your father, and somebody gave birth to your mother, your father, and somebody gave birth to your great-grandmother, your great-grandfather. These are spirits that existed. These are spirits that communicated with other deities, and their dealings have resulted to the pattern of life that you have found yourself. An awful time, because their era is different from our era today. We are never ever going to be pleased with what the outcome of those covenants will become in our life. For this reason, the need to establish a newer, more embracing covenant is needed. Like myself and my wife, we go to the oceans to renew or reenact the covenant we had with the seas, with our ancestors, with the gods of our cableland. And so we don't have a specific spirit or deity that oversees or witnesses our reenactment. But oftentimes, the minimal demons and spirits that witness our covenant reenactment are over 1,000. And we do that always in the night. And so, how long will this covenant run? Myself and my wife, we agreed 11. And how do we translate this information and tell our children to always reenact this covenant? Is by raising our children now, telling them, and as time goes on, they become tablets, books, videos, that tomorrow when they stumble on those books, they said, oh, my mother, our great-great-great-grandfather Uzih, and our great-great-great-grandmother Rezi, and our great-great-great-grandmother Osinashi, and our great-great-great-grandmother Ada, Naomi, anybody I'm going to marry tomorrow, they had this type of covenant. And how do we want to reenact it? By going to the sea, offering this and offering that. And what happened? It is what? It is renewed. Because after 11 years, renewal has to happen every year. Some of you, covenants that have been enacted or been established by your ancestors had expired 20 years ago, had expired many years ago. And then guess what? You forgot. And let me tell you, do you know that a deity can bless you just to kill you? Like a covenant was entered by your ancestors, and if you do overboard, it leads to your death. And that covenant should bring about wealth. A deity will bless you. The covenant can bless you. So that you buy a C-class, and as you are driving, C-class take your life. Say in a young boy, that's so their family, they die. Even the poor, they die. Even the rich, they die. Why did the rich one die? Because they know that if the rich one be poor, the effectiveness of that covenant to that particular essence will not come to pass. Each and every one of us will have different essences. And so, like I said, there are factors that are going to affect your life. The family you are born into, the man you are married to, the wife you are married to. And do you know that there are covenants that are covering your family? The moment you marry from another family, those covenants become ineffective in your life and you have escaped. Whereas, you can decide to marry from the Uzih family And that covenant that stopped women from making it in the family, from becoming someone, breaks, because the covenant that Uzih operates on is higher and more powerful than the covenant that is covering you. And you find out that the moment the woman marry, door open for them. Now she can't get money pass for the family. But the question here is this. Now there you end. It has not translated to your brothers and your sisters. So your brothers and sisters, they will still be suffering. Oh. Now you know what happened? Your brothers and sisters see that you are the one, and now you and they're blessed. They now come to meet you for daily bread till they die. And you self, when they operate on Uzih, you they follow Uzih, they go water, they do everything as the wife. They will see the insult you say, no be juju they do. I beg, they do, you give your life to Christ, but they will still come and collect money from you. And what will happen to their children? So how do you remove yourself from ancestral covenant when you see they are no longer serving your purpose? Is to reenact a new covenant backed by an altar. Covenant backed by altars are always very powerful, and you cannot do that except you are rich and what? Powerful. Now, a situation whereby a man enters a covenant with a deity for wealth and prosperity, and after the man lived and died, did not transfer the deity, the worship of the deity to the children, and all of them, they said they want to go to church. And in a long run, maybe after 20, 30 years, poverty now struck them, because obviously all of them went to church, but they were still eating from the wealth that was still available by their father. Now their children are now facing what? Difficulties. But one particular child decided to do what? To be a little bit different from them, and that one was blessed. Majority of the time, that particular child is the man that had the covenant that came back to life to renew what he had what. So he becomes the messenger. So when I use the word messenger, messenger is not just for everybody. There is a messenger in every family, and that messenger is always one of the ancestors that is coming back to life to say, no, we cannot. In my own case, I was Uzih that came back to tell them that the Uzih you saw as a fisherman, it was not actually a fisherman. That was a deity among men who disguised himself as a fisherman. He was the god of the river. He was the god of the ocean. And so, in most cases, that one person making it, you find that you hear a story of that single person. They will end up becoming the one that is stubborn. They are the stubborn one. They are the one that passed through hell in life. But oftentimes, there are some level of escape for them. You get it now? Do you know why they pass through those hurdles? It's because the disobedience of the man's family is feeding to the deity. So the deity feeds on their soul, feeds on their wealth. As long as you remain disobedient, as long as you don't want to what? Because the actual blessings of that covenant and that covenant witnessed by that deity is the pronouncement of the ancestor. The deity is just a custodian. It's like a man, you are rich, you now write a testament, your will. Wait till get power. Now the will. The lawyer is only enacting it. That's how covenant actually works. So the deity has no power to do that. The deity only say, you want to make money. They want to give you a quarter of 100 million that will not make you rich. And the covenant that you have to be pouring drink to me and this tree, you are not doing it. You guys cut the tree off because you want to build that. The next thing is on your way to go and collect the covenant, this thing. Bang, motor don't jam you, don't finish. You say, this person, there is a family he wants to meet, or he will meet this family. The family is the family of Umukoro. Her name is Ruth. Ruth, he say yes. So if he marries Ruth, what will happen? If he marries Ruth, we wanted him to just marry, don't be angry. We just wanted him to marry only Rezi. When he married Rezi, he will have all the blessings that we. But if we allow him to marry Ruth while adult boss, you see that community that they call Igbeme, it will not become the dream that we said it will not happen. So what is happening now? What will happen is I say, what? You know what? Why not we make Ruth get belle when she is young? Ruth will not get belle because the deities and the ancestor Uzih had met Umukoro in the spirit realm. I want your daughter and my son. I said this one of the video that our ancestors, they gamble with us. Two of them, they've met. They say our son and daughter. I say, how you go happen? Move, frustrate your daughter, come Lagos. Frustrate your son, come Lagos. by that frustration, events, I use one word. I said, the spirits, they are the one that control events. You humans, you should be able to recognize an event that will be what? Detrimental to you, or an event that will be what? Good to you. Then decide when to fall in and play along. Now, playing along meaning trusting your ancestors. They know what they are doing. See, when I faced troubles when I was growing, I would just come out and I would look up, I would look at the sun. Good one, you guys know what you're doing. But it's okay. If my tears makes you happy, if my tears will lead me to what will give me the joy, it's okay. And I still do that till today. I always trust them so much because they already shown me the future. And I will never, ever be a poor man. Not for money. I mean, I will never be poor with followers. My name will never be poor. I will change the course of history in Africa. However it will get there, I will play along. And they will bring roots. But guess what? Roots also have a role to play in her different life before we sing. What is that play? I will never get pregnant to a man except the man pays my bride price. And they will give Ruth a mother. The ancestors we prepare 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ancestors just to bring Ruth out. And prepare 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ancestors just to bring Uzih out. And then when the two are our heads here, say, good. Uzih, I'm here now. Ruth could just be a man. Ruth, the ancestor of Ruth now, can be a man. An actual man 1,000 years ago had a covenant with the deity to say, I want to rule the nation Africa. But the Roman attack, now how do we get it? 2 warriors agree together. And some of you people, you have met people in your life that the moment you guys met, there was this clique. It was as if both of you have known yourself for a long time. It's as if you guys have lived a life before. It's as if both of you have discussed face to face and you can't even explain it. But all of a sudden, because pride did you, because you allow technology to come, you ended the relationship. And after the relationship ended, life turned. How many of you are watching me that the moment you broke up with that guy, the moment you broke up with that woman, the moment you left that office, the moment you insulted that person, the moment you backed away from that place, the moment you did that, life never became the same again for you? That was because that was a destiny place. And what will happen? The two will always come. When the two come and they meet, let's say Uzih and Ruth, or Uzih and Naomi meet. Let me use Naomi, my current wife, for example. Uzih and Naomi meet. Finally, Naomi now have the mind of whenever he see a man he likes, after 7 days, not they like the man again. And so when Naomi told his friend, his brothers, I met one guy, they asked me out. You like him? I like him. I said, oh, tomorrow he doesn't know like him again. It was, I'm talking about real life, it was my wife's billboard. Not because I married my wife when she was 36, 37. It's not because men were not coming. But they say man go come, he go look the man finish. No, I don't like him again. To the extent that the person that she finally met and she loved and wants to marry, she's from a very decent family. It's so cool. They can't go do, they say before any form of intercourse or whatever. But if he come out, let's go and do genotype type. Can't be like say in AS, the other one, AS, it cannot work. So that we don't end up giving birth to an SS in the future. My wife say, boo, 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 boo. Never. I must marry an AA. But guess what? People insult her. You see the show said, you don't be old. You don't go marry on time. Well, what if SS is not come? No, you can pray. Jesus Christ and the blood of Jesus can do what? Can change an SS to AS and AA. The girl said, never. 2 of my children with Rezi, they are all AA. Because I'm what? I'm AA. Why didn't AS come out? Guess what? Because when that man came, there was already an agreement between the 2 deities of the family. See, if I tell you the story between my family and Rezi family, you will know that these deities, they don't use our head, Tete. My great grandfather from my mother's side was known for a particular business. My wife's great-grandfather from his father's side was known for that same particular business. My wife's mother is from Orogun. My grandmother is from Orogun. My wife's grandmother's side, they worship water. My father's grandmother's side worship water. My community is a stone throw from Rezi's community. In fact, I said I was never ever going to marry. I will marry Yoruba, Isoko. There are 3 tribes I've always wanted to marry. I will marry Igbo, and I will marry that part of Hausa when their girls they be like white. Fulani. I said if I don't marry Fulani, I'll marry a white person. 3 wives complete. That's when I was small. The idea of polygamy was started when I was small. But guess what? We enter. Guess what? When the day we were to go and do introduction on Rezi, a spirit came to me and said, if you don't marry this girl, I will make you rich. I will give you everything you want. I did not listen. The night they came and attacked. So much attack that night, me and Rezi, me and my wife, we had so much heavy quarrel that I said I am no longer interested. And my father-in-law know everything. She's a spiritual person. He knows everything. You see, that you are a young girl, you want to marry, you are a man, you want to marry. But one of your parents just keep quiet, talks nothing. He knows what is happening. Because they have been told, don't interfere. Let destiny play. If you interfere, you will die. And my father-in-law started interfering. Where does it come from? My father-in-law fell into sickness that was almost going to take his life. After we married, finished, today we will not see that sickness till today. My father-in-law will be sicking almost every month. Till today, my father-in-law see that sickness again. Now the fight we fight now in my father-in-law's house and my own family house is how do we protect this wealth covenant that have been handed over to me and my wife so it can touch almost everybody. And that is what me and my wife will do almost every night. People, when would they do it for? They be Christians, so they don't know. But we are now the chosen one to do this. And that is why your question, back to your question, that person, when they that family, when be like say, now they do better pass. Check. Before I begin to do better, he passed through a lot, but that person, now be the ancestor when get the covenant. And the deities don't just want one person. The deity wants the whole family to serve. So they will frustrate this one. And when they frustrate, but this one, when they give them, just live, they will not live. Now that one, they will come, they bless. Now that one in life will come, they better. Why the rest, they are what? Suffering. And most times, when that one serve the deity well, because of that one, the deity can forgive that generation. Like I said, generation 25 years. They can forgive that generation. So for the whole 25 years, blessing will be coming. And all of a sudden, when you were in secondary school, you had business ideas. You were making it. You finished secondary school, you enter university, better job come, you travel abroad. And the moment you just hit 47, the moment myself and my wife met, we started dating. Marriage of 14 years, broke, Nalayo, covenant have expired. But we allow modern white man idea that they have a mind of their own. What do we have today now? Covenant has expired. You have entered another generation. That second generation is supposed to be the generation of your children to enjoy the blessings. You did not renew with them. You said they are children. They have the right to choose what they want. Now they have chose. Whereas your Bible said, train up a child a way he should go. And when he is old, he will know what? His people suffering. And malicious spirits are taking advantage of it. If you have any question, you want to do consultation, you want us to summon your ancestors and understand where issues may be going wrong in your life, or even know when a particular covenant will even expire, we can do that. Chat me up on the number showing on your screen. Somebody will respond to you and will book an appointment. Every man on earth was born to be rich and successful, but factors that will affect you not achieving that. Number one, the family you are born into. which translates to the covenant that governs it, the woman or man you are married to, the society you are born into, which also translates to the government. But oftentimes, your ancestral home plays more than 70% of the time if you are ever going to make it. And let me end this on this. Seek spirituality. It is one of the most beautiful journey you can ever find yourself, especially as an African. May the ancient waters and the ancient spirit protect you. May they provide for you. May they shield you from the eyes of the envious, both humans, animals, and spirits. Ashe.